Yo, it's your boy, Smoke Out there, Madden video. Today's video, we're going to be doing a season simulation after the Kansas City Chiefs have just did a trade with the Tennessee Titans, a 5th-round pick for Deandre Hopkins. Now, a lot of people do feel that Deandre Hopkins is past his prime and does have a little bit of truth to it. He should still be going more than a 5th-round pick. And you see right here, we tried doing the trade in Madden, and they declined it. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to give him some extra picks, since it's only a season simulation. But just wanted to show you guys right there that it was declined in Madden at least, and it said one of the team needs for the Kansas City Chiefs was receivers. So as you see right here, DeAndre Hopkins, according to Madden's eyes, he is going to come in and he's going to be the wide receiver 1 by a good 12, at least 12 overalls. So DeAndre Hopkins, then Juju Smith-Schuster, then Xavier Worthy as the 3, then McCole Hardman, then Justin Watson and Sky Moore. And I feel like this will actually help the Kansas City Chiefs receiving room a lot. Someone like DeAndre Hopkins, he is a legend, and he can help Xavier Worthy become a better player. And see right here, the first game that the DeAndre Hopkins is on the Kansas City Chiefs is against the Raiders. And Kansas City Chiefs win 38-15. Now, it doesn't take much to beat the Las Vegas Raiders, but they win by even more with DeAndre Hopkins on their team. So let's go ahead and check out all the statistics during this matchup. And I also did a simulation of Amari Cooper on the Bills. If you guys are interested in that, link will be in the description below. But it's very interesting that the two big powerhouses of the AFC made moves for a wide receiver. And then the Jets also got Devontae Adams. But anyway, Patrick Mahomes, 3 passing touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 330 passing yards. Gardner Minshew, they still had him as the starter in this Madden simulation. 184 yards, 1 passing touchdown, 1 interception. Alexander Matheson, 72 rushing yards, but with no touchdown. Kareem Hunt with 71 rushing yards and a touchdown. Xavier Worthy was a leading receiver of this whole game with 116 yards and a receiving touchdown. Travis Kelce got a receiving touchdown as well. Looks like the Las Vegas Raiders signed Michael Thomas, apparently, and he was the leading receiver for the Raiders with 4 receptions, 75 yards, and a touchdown. Then DeAndre Hopkins, the man the video is about, 55 receiving yards and no touchdown, though. And then Juju Smith-Schuster, 45 receiving yards with 1 receiving touchdown. Now another highlighted game that I want to show you guys is the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. In the simulation, the Chiefs win 38-17, and the Buccaneers have been really good so far this season. I don't really know how many people predicted them to be this good, but hey, they are definitely executing. Patrick Mahomes, 2 passing touchdowns, 1 interception, 295 yards, a rating of 106.2. Baker Mayfield, 2 passing touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Kareem Hunt, 68 rushing yards on the ground, 1 rushing touchdown. Bucky Irving, a rookie that has been really good, and he has 41 rushing yards and 1 rushing touchdown. Xavier Worthy is the leading receiver again with 92 yards and a touchdown. Right behind him, though, was DeAndre Hopkins, 8 receptions, 79 yards, but no receiving touchdown. Travis Kelce, 5 receptions, 63 yards. Mike Evans, 5 receptions, 49 yards. And then Chris Godwin, 4 receptions, 38 yards. Then Sterling Shepard, 1 reception for 26. And then, this is the same game I highlighted. Chiefs versus Bills. I mean, they've played each other how many times in the playoffs in the last 5 years? They are definitely big-time rivals. I highlighted this for the Amari Cooper simulation. Again, link in the description if you're interested in the full season of how the Buffalo Bills do with Amari Cooper. But as you see right here, Patrick Mahomes, 90.5 passer rating, 327 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 2 interceptions, though. Josh Allen with 1 passing touchdown, 2 interceptions. James Cook with a rushing touchdown and 55 yards. Then Kareem Hunt with 53 yards and a touchdown. Josh Allen rushing touchdown as well. And then Samaje Perine again with a rushing touchdown. Travis Kelce had 9 receptions for 119 yards. No touchdown, clear, secure, 87 yards. And then Juju with 82. Then McCole Hardman. And then DeAndre Hopkins, he had 2 receiving touchdowns. So 5 receptions, 42 yards, and 2 receiving touchdowns for DeAndre Hopkins. Then Amari Cooper, 3 receptions and 21 yards. And then Curtis Samuel for the Buffalo Bills got the touchdown. So that's how Amari Cooper did. Honestly, not that good in this game. And this is the NFL playoffs right here. So to no surprise at all, the Chiefs make the playoffs, but they were the 1st seed. I don't know if you were expecting that or not. 2nd seed, the Baltimore Ravens, and then going against the 7th, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Then you got the 3rd seed Texans going against the 5th seed, or the 6th seed Bengals, and then the 4th and the 5th seed Buffalo Bills, and the Chargers. Then on the NFC side, you got the first round bye, awarded to the Green Bay Packers. Then you got the Eagles versus the Commanders. And then you got the Seahawks versus the Lions. And then you got the Falcons versus the Cowboys. So, pretty interesting playoff picture here. I think it's kind of realistic if you started the season from now. It's not really that far-fetched. The way the Cowboys are playing right now, though, they are definitely not going to be in playoffs. So the Cowboys need to figure it out if they are going to be in playoffs or not. Anyway, the Kansas City Chiefs, they did so good. They went 16-1. So they almost had an undefeated season. And if you're wondering who the one loss was to, of all teams, it was the Denver Broncos. So Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos give the Chiefs their only loss in this simulation. Let's go check the yearly rewards, see if anyone won anything. The MVP was Josh Allen, and second place was Patrick Mahomes. So Mahomes did not win MVP. Offensive Player of the Year, obviously Josh Allen. Defensive Player of the Year, Chris Jones was second, so he was close. Offensive Rookie of the Year, no one from the Chiefs. And the Defensive Player of the Year, or Defensive Rookie of the Year, was not from the Chiefs either. As you see right there, offensive yards was first in the league, though. On the entire year, Patrick Mahomes had 4,829 passing yards, 46 passing touchdowns, and 13 interceptions. I feel like he's definitely going to have a lot more interceptions than that, especially how he's just started this season. You know, he's actually been pretty rough this season, statistically wise. So, I don't know. I guess Madden says he's going to turn it around a lot. Anyway, Kareem Hunt, 218 attempts, 848 yards, 8 rushing touchdowns. You know, returning with the Chiefs, and, you know, it's actually been pretty good so far. Kareem Hunt's been pretty solid since his return. Patrick Mahomes, 351 rushing yards, 1 rushing touchdown. Sponge P. Ride, 7 rushing touchdowns, 160 yards. And Pacheco before he got injured, obviously. And then Travis Kelce was the leading receiver on the team with 1,215 yards, 9 receiving touchdowns. Juju Smith-Schuster was the most with the receiving touchdowns, though, with 10 and 943 yards. Deandre Hopkins still did really solid. I would label this a good year, you know, because Deandre Hopkins is good, but he is like 32. Deandre Hopkins, 899 yards and 9 receiving touchdowns. Xavier Worthy had 6 receiving touchdowns. Nick Bolton was the leader in tackles, and then you got Trey Quill, and then you got Justin Reed. And then Chris Jones was the leader in tackles for loss with 12, but that is nothing crazy. What is crazy, though, is Chris Jones was 17 sacks. 17 sacks in a season is absolutely insane, especially for a defensive tackle. Normally, the only defensive tackle to get that many sacks is Aaron Donald, and it is not easy to put up similar numbers that Aaron Donald does. Leader in interception was Connor, and then you got Justin Reed, Nick Bolton, Leo Channon, Brian Cook, Trent McDuffie, and the Kansas City Chiefs. They ended up winning the Super Bowl, so they made it all the way to the Super Bowl, and they win the Super Bowl. 2024 season recap. It was the 2-1 seeds. The Green Bay Packers were the 1 seed as well, and so were the Kansas City Chiefs, obviously, because they went 16-1. The final score, 20-17. So very close Super Bowl, only winning by a field goal. Kansas City Chiefs are again the Super Bowl champions. Super Bowl MVP went to Patrick Mahomes. Obviously, the regular season NFL MVP went to Josh Allen. Coach of the Year, Matt LaFleur. Offensive Player of the Year, Amon St. Brown. Defensive Player of the Year, T.J. Watt. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Jaden Daniels. And then Defensive Rookie of the Year, Tyke Smith. So, really, really good season if you're a Kansas City Chiefs fan. But you guys have already had a lot of great seasons, so I don't really feel like you need many more, if I'm being honest. But let's go and check out the postseason statistics, see how everyone did. So, let's see how good of a postseason Patrick Mahomes or DeAndre Hopkins had. As you see right there, they faced the Steelers and the Bills, and then they beat the Packers. So Patrick Mahomes against the Steelers, a rating of 138.8, 3 passing touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Justin Fields, a passing touchdown, but an interception. Kareem Hunt, 74 yards and a rushing touchdown. Mahomes had 42 yards as well. DeAndre Hopkins ran the ball 2 times. And then George Pickens, he got a receiving touchdown. So did McCole Hardman. I don't really see DeAndre Hopkins. Only 1 reception, 10 yards. So he didn't do a whole lot in the first round of the playoffs. DeAndre Hopkins did not. Let's go see against the Buffalo Bills, winning by only a field goal right there, 17-14. Josh Allen had 2 passing touchdowns, 1 interception. Patrick Mahomes had 1 passing touchdown and 1 interception, but Mahomes had a lot more yards, 277 yards. Kareem Hunt was able to get 64 yards, but he wasn't able to get a touchdown on the day. James Cook, 46 yards. Patrick Mahomes, 25. Samaje Perine, who was able to get a touchdown. Khalil Shakir, leading receiver with 90. Then Dalton Kincaid. Then DeAndre Hopkins with 45. And Dalton Kincaid also is the one who got a receiving touchdown. So let's go ahead and check here. And the Chiefs only win by a field goal again. So, again, very close games for almost all the Chiefs' playoff games. Jordan Love did not have a passing touchdown, but he also did not have an interception. Patrick Mahomes had 2 passing touchdowns and 1 interception. Josh Jacobs was the main reason they were even close to winning this game. He had 2 rushing touchdowns and 63 yards. Juju Smith-Schuster, 104 yards and a receiving touchdown. So Juju did pretty well. Christian Watson, 77 yards. Jaden Reed did good. And in the Super Bowl matchup, DeAndre Hopkins only had 1 reception for 19 yards. So it's not like DeAndre Hopkins went crazy in the postseason. But anyway, he was a key contributor to the regular season to even get them there. So definitely, I would say well-deserved. I mean, he was like the wide receiver. Statistically, he ended up finishing as like the wide receiver 2 on the team, even though he was supposed to be the 1. But anyway, it was still one of the main reasons they won the Super Bowl. But anyway, that is the full simulation, season simulation. The Kansas City Chiefs get another Super Bowl. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe.